Hey guys, welcome back to Hood's Custom Shop. So today I want to do a little finer detail video explaining how I repaired my dash cluster right here. So this right here is a 2001 International 3800. It's a Bluebird. Not that really matters because there's a lot of years of International school buses, semi trucks, all of those use the same dash cluster, and they all have the same problem that happens eventually. So a viewer had some questions about it. They're kind of having the same issue, so I figured I'll do a little more fine detail, a little closer up, and hopefully I can explain a lot more in detail what I did to repair this. And at the same time, I'm going to be putting some green LED bulbs in. So that's going to be cool. So we're going to show you all that up next. All right, guys. So as you see here, I have my dash cluster removed from the dash of my school bus. The way you want to do that is you got two Phillips head screws right here that you will remove, and that will allow you to pull the dash cluster out of the dash itself. And you're going to find that it's pretty restricted in there. It's going to be kind of a tight fit, but you're going to want to pull it up towards you and then lean it forward whenever you can. You have to get this back area right here clear from the dash, and then you can tilt it forward, and you'll barely be able to fit your hand in behind here. And what you have is you'll have a plug right here, electrical plug here, and electrical plug over here. Then if you have air brakes, you should have an air gauge hookup like I do right here. And that is going to take a 9/16 wrench. You'll get those loosened up and spin them off by hand. And then with the plugs, you're gonna have to reach in here. It's gonna be a tight space. So if you got smaller hands, it'd probably be a little easier. But you wanna reach in, there's gonna be a tab on the side of each plug. You reach in and depress that plug, or depress the tab, wiggle the plug while pulling gently, and get that removed. So you're going to do that with this one, and this one. All right. So once you have it out and you got it on your table, what you're going to want to do is take all the screws out, like this right here. Make sure you put them somewhere where you're not going to lose them. If you have a magnetic tip screwdriver, it'll be helpful. The magnetic tip is not real strong on this screwdriver, but it is a magnetic tip, so that's really helpful. I'm just going to use this roll of tape here and put the screws down in there. So what I need to do is actually remove this black cover right here. I can't really see. You guys can probably actually see better than I can, other than when my hands are in the way. So I just have to guess where these screws are, I guess. Let's see. Let's see here. Am I missing any? I think there's one right here. This one right here is actually going to be under a void warranty. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a warranty on your bus, so unless you have maybe an aftermarket cluster or something. I don't know if you would have a problem with a newer one or not. Let's get these removed. And you don't really want to lose the screws. That just causes for headache later on. If I could get that out of there. All right, so now we have this removed. We're going to place it over here to the side. All right, so this is what you're looking at. Now, if you're only dealing with the gauges right here, like your speedometer and tachometer right here in this center part, you're going to only be dealing with this plug right here. If you're having lighting issues and stuff like that with gauges over here, then you're going to need to deal with these. But the only problem I had was with this center one right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the screws out of it and get it removed, so we can see the other side. Now, one thing you want to be careful of is you see all these right here, these pins right here is actually where your gauges are plugged in. There's pins on the back side of your gauges, so you may have to reach in here with a pinky or something and gently pry up to remove it. Just be careful that you don't crack the circuit board. I think that may be it. So I can just reach in here with my pinky, kind of pull up, move to a different one, pull up. Kind of wiggle a little bit, that helps. All right, so then if you have, you should have an odometer. So right here is going to be a little plug that you need to remove right there. See, I just unplugged it and then let that go through this hole right here in the circuit board. Just remember to hook it back up, or your odometer will not be counting the mileage. If you have a hour meter, it will be plugged in right here and you'll have to remove it. This one does not have an hour meter. So anyways, this is the circuit board that we need to work on. So let me move the dash cluster off to the side. All right, so the pins in question are right here. So let me move you guys in for a closer look. All right, guys, so now that we switched cameras, and I'm having to actually look in the camera because I can see better on the camera. Otherwise, I'm gonna have my face down there in the way. All right, so you flip this over. There's our plug. This is for the center dash cluster. All right. Now, up here, TP34, that one right there, you see this right here has a little circle right here, that white circle. These two right here should be connected, all right? Whenever you get yours out and it hasn't been repaired, it's probably not going to be connected. There's just going to be a little bit of solder on this pin here, and it should be making connection there. All I did was prevent the instance where there might be a hairline fracture in the circuit board between these two right here. What you might try to do is just go back and solder your pins like this right here, just reheat them. A lot of times that will actually fix it. If that does not fix it, if you put it back in your bus or your truck or whatever, and this right here does not fix it, just reheating it and making it look like that, then you might go back and do this right here. And forgive me because I'm looking in the camera and everything is just backwards for me. So anyway, so we'll come down here. Well, TP34, that one is connected. This one is not right here, the TP84. TP33, we've connected. TP37 is connected. TP44 is connected. Over here, TP66 and TP35 are connected. TP36 is connected, all right. Then TP88, TP99, and the one across from it right here that doesn't have a number, that is connected across there. All the rest of these right here, basically all I did was heat those up, just remelting the solder, added a tiny bit of electrical solder to that. Do not use plumbing solder. Make sure you use electrical solder, okay? So anyways, I hope that kind of explains things for you a little better. So now I was hoping to actually change these bulbs out with these LED bulbs that I bought here, and I did not realize that I got the wrong size or the wrong style. So as you can see, these right here are a bit bigger. Let me get one of these out. And the way you change your bulbs, if your bulbs are burnt out, basically, let me see. Do I have a pair of pliers up here? It's hard for me to grab these by hand, so a small pair of channel locks right here will work. Just gently grab a hold of that and turn it counterclockwise, and it'll come right out. You do not have to take this apart in order to change the bulbs. All right. Then you pull the bulb out, just kind of wiggle it out, and if you had the correct bulb, this would just plug in there, and then you'd plug it in and twist it clockwise. But unfortunately, we got the wrong ones, so yeah, can't use that. And the ones I ordered came with this little piece right here. You can tell the difference right there. So let me put this back together, and we'll put the circuit board back in and then show you how you would normally change your bulbs without taking the circuit board out. All right, so we're gonna put this back together here. You guys might be a little close. Let me zoom you out a bit here. All right. So bring this plug back up through this hole right here. Make sure all your gauge pins are lining up. These all right here. Make sure they line up, and that's where you want to apply pressure, is not anywhere else on the circuit board, but basically right where those pins line up and plug into the gauges. You want to make sure you're not putting undue stress on the circuit board and causing cracks or fractures, because that's actually where a lot of these problems arise. You may have to do a little flexing with a screwdriver or something. Maybe a little flathead here and get, see, like this pin right here is not lining up properly. Don't know why it's being like that. Little plastic pins holding everything up here. There we go. Had to just reach down in here and pry over on the circuit board a little bit. You can hear all the plastic creaking and stuff. And bad thing is you got to kind of be gentle or you might tear some things up. All right, we're going to plug this back in for our odometer. Just like that right there. All right. And then reinstall, I think it was this screw and this one over here. All right, now we can put our protector plate back on. With this one pin right here, it's just being a pain in the butt. There we go. Got that in there. Now I better get some screws in it before it pops back up again. It just popped back up. All I had to do was let go of it. So I had full intentions of changing the light bulbs in this, but they're just not the right size, so it is what it is, I guess. Try to make sure we get all the screws in here, huh? All right, there you go. All right, guys, I hope this video has helped you out and really kind of gave you a little bit better perspective of what I done to repair the dash cluster in my bus. This is a very common issue. A lot of times it will be intermittent. You will be going down the road and your gauges are working, and then all of a sudden you hit a bump and they stop working, or maybe they're not working and then they start working, and it can go back and forth. That is very common. Mine just simply didn't work at all. And so since they weren't working at all, it made me want to start looking through all the fuses and stuff like that. But that's not the case. It was actually just the pins on the back of that plug right there, that green plug right there. That was the problem. I soldered them, as you guys seen, and that fixed everything. Now they work great. I don't have any intermittent issues or anything with it. I first tried to just reheat and solder the pins themselves and put it back in. It did not work, so I had to actually take it back out and solder and cross over to where that connection was actually going to. So it's apparently a hairline fracture in the circuit board itself that probably just happens from vibration over time. It's a pretty common issue with a lot of different vehicles, and yeah, it shouldn't cost you an arm and a leg. You shouldn't have to take it to a mechanic. Really, you can do this with probably a Phillips head screwdriver and a soldering iron. That's pretty much the extent of the tools you will need. Having a pair of pliers or vice grips handy if you're going to be changing out your light bulbs on the dash is pretty nice, but you do not have to take this completely apart to change the lights in your dash. Like you can see right here, you can access these. All you need to do to change your bulbs is pull this screw and this screw right here, pull the dash forward toward to you, and then rotate or tilt it forward. Once the back of this right here has cleared the actual dash itself, so you're just going to pull it straight out and then lean it forward onto the steering column. Reach in behind here, unplug your plugs. Get this completely out of the dash, and then you can go in here with maybe a pair of needle nose or even your fingers. Sometimes I can grab a hold of these. I don't have the strength to do it, I guess, but a pair of channel locks or something like that. Grab a hold of it gently. Don't crush it and break it. Just grab a hold of it gently, twist it a quarter turn to the left or counterclockwise, and then you can actually pull the bulb out of this little plastic piece that I got a hold of, and just put another bulb in it. Put it back in like that, twist it a quarter turn to the right or clockwise, and you're done. Put it all back together the same way you took it apart. Hope it has helped y'all out. Hopefully it will give you the confidence to be able to walk through this video step by step, pause it if you need to, and yeah, just have confidence that you can do it. It's already broke, so what's it going to cost you extra? I mean, at the worst case scenario, you need to end up taking it to a mechanic or something to let them work on it. A lot of mechanics aren't even going to bother with soldering this. That some mechanics will, but a lot of them are pretty much just parts changers, and they're just going to say you need to buy a whole new dash cluster because all they want to do is the plug and play There's mechanics out there like that. So be careful, do your research, ask them questions on how they're going to fix it. I mean, just go in there and say, this is the problem, and this is, I want to know if you can do this. Can you solder the pins on the back of this connector? Matter of fact, don't even take the bus to them. Just take the dash cluster. Take this out. It's super easy. Take it out and take it to them. If you don't have the confidence with this video to do it yourself, just take this to them. You might even tell them about my video so they can go check it out or whatever, so they know exactly what you're talking about through my video. And hopefully this will help you get it fixed, because there's no reason to actually go and get a new dash for this, unless your dash is all busted up or something. Then you might consider getting a new one. And I don't even know if they make new ones anymore for these, so that's the other thing. So I didn't even bother looking to see if you can buy these, but you know, because I can fix mine, or I'll go to the salvage yard and get one and fix it and be back in business. So anyways, we'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up if this has helped you out. Subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought of the video. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.